break off from the ADD for a second.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody. This is the Turtle Reads with Clay Foreman and Melissa Diaz.
Hey, what's up?
And we have our guest today, Robert May. Fucking
howdy.
The boy over here. Used to be a bartender here at the Creek.
Yes, sir.
Now working on it as a comedian and has a big boy job selling lasers. Woo.
Woo.
We're here today talking about the Gucci Mane autobiography. It was pretty dope.
Written by myself.
That would be my God, Rob. I would not doubt it if you just released ghost wrote an autobiography for somebody.
Yeah.
You do you also do graphic design. You do a bunch of shit. It's ridiculous. And you're really good at all of it. It's not fair.
It's ADD.
It's Adderall.
It's Adderall. Sorry, yeah. It's Adderall. You too can be this guy.
40
Just take a bunch of Adderall and do it.
Yeah.
And I've been doing the thing lately with the quote from the book. Real simple one this time. I think fits the book pretty well. As far back as I can remember, I really just wanted to get me some money. Gucci Mane was all about the money.
Yes. Can you relate to that at least?
No.
No.
No, she's spending all of her time and money on a house right now.
I'm working on a house. I mean,
That's dope.
it's not that I don't believe in being industrious.
Yes.
I just don't believe in productivity as a paradigm. I'm
Sure.
very against it. Not because it's wrong, but because everybody's doing it without even questioning why.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you can be very productive and still walk around like an empty shell,
Sure. No,
So,
absolutely. I think labeling
that's
it like productivity in a sense too, maybe pigeonholes it because
No, I think it's good.
Yeah.
Language is accurate. Whether people know it or not, I believe the words you end up using, they're the right ones.
yeah,
It's the right word.
sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because it's productivity.
Yeah.
Yeah. If productivity
Yeah,
has
quite
a sterile sort of corporate undertone. And that's
Yeah.
exactly what it should have.
Yeah.
Industriousness is kind of like a
Entrepreneur.
semi-Christianish, virtuous kind of form of activity, right? Where you're doing something for the betterment of
Yeah.
Yeah.
your soul or some shit.
Sure.
Yeah.
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 And I feel like productivity, industriousness, same thing like entrepreneur. It's just what
Yeah.
somebody says whenever they're like, yeah, I'm keeping myself busy.
Yeah.
I'm doing something.
Hustling, dude.
I'm
Yeah.
hustling.
I'm locked in.
Right. Yeah. Productivity benefits enterprise culture and industriousness benefits you. That's what I
Yeah.
think. As an individual, though.
No, that makes sense. I mean, productivity for me some days is just drawing a picture that I'll never use. That'll take me 3 hours. But hey, I did that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Focus on the wrong shit a lot.
sometimes you do. I know you did that whole run of softball shirts based off of dogs.
Right. Yeah. It was imaginary dog baseball teams.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's cool. You think that was a waste of time?
No. I mean, I think that eventually down the line, I'll revisit it and find a use for it. But there's a lot of shit in my life where I'm just doing that. I'm maybe one day this will be something. I own a couple domains like Voilon. I thought I was going to make some grass weed stuff at one point in my life, but all these things just fizzle out. So I like to just try and throw as much shit at the wall
Why
as
does it
possible.
fizzle out?
I think part of it is I lose interest in it, or for me, if when it comes to design and stuff like that, if I don't think it's as best as I possibly can make it, then I'll sit on it. I won't post it or won't do anything with it, and it stifles my output for sure. But I think something I need to get better about is just embracing the process of creating it, and people are gonna like it either if I spend the extra year on it or not. I just sit on stuff for a long time before I like to see let people see it. But recently, comedy has been a really big change of pace because you have to just go out there and you have to suck before you can be good at it. And it's the first time I've really had to put myself out there in that sense.
How's that feel?
Good. I mean, yeah, it's tough, but I like the challenge of it. I mean, it definitely sucks when you don't feel great about a set or something like that.
You're not doing stand-up good if you don't feel deeply ashamed of yourself.
Yeah.
I hope you know that.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I'm starting to realize it now. Yeah.
Well, and the first few times you did stand up here, you were a bartender.
Right.
You did murder. I remember
Yeah, you're
one time.
funny.
That's sweet. Thank you.
The first time we ever saw you go on stage, you were hammered drunk.
Right, which was
and you did your joke
It's
or wape joke. It's about his speech
He's supposed to
impediment.
correct you. He's like,
Yeah.
hey, I didn't say this time.
that's right. Oh, are you known for that?
No.
She's just mad.
What am
about
I, some kind of
all the
retard?
words.
We'll just say wape. It's much more palatable.
Palatable.
Wait.
And yeah, no, even though you were hammered, you fucking nailed it. The entire room fucking died laughing. It was so good. But it's good to see now, like you host the mic here on Wednesdays, and most of those comics don't know you as a bartender. They just know you as some other comic.
Yeah.
And you still get laughs.
Or even that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely had the inherent advantage of bartending here for 2 years before I even realized I wanted to do comedy. So I got to see a lot of free stuff. Some of the greatest, do it. But getting back into it now, like I'm way more intentional. Because at first, like you said, I was just like on my nights off, I was just hanging out up here like drunk and like I wouldn't remember anything. So I did that for like a year, basically like very unintentional comedy, not recording my sets. Like
That's everybody's first year.
Yeah.
Don't even
that
sweat
makes me feel better because like I stepped away for a while because I was like, I'm not getting anything out of this. Like even though I was getting some good positive feedback, like I didn't think I was progressing and I wasn't writing as many jokes or anything like that. So
Well,
now,
also, did you have like life stuff happening? Or you got married or something?
no, I haven't gotten married, but
okay.
Yeah, definitely some life stuff has happened.
Well, what happened?
Is she the fiance yet?
She's not. No.
What's
God.
going on?
I hate that I put that out there because now it's like a ticking
I'm sorry.
Wait, what
time
happened?
ban. No, it was
She won't watch our podcast. Don't worry.
Nobody's watching. Yeah, come on.
I got on Kill Tony like a couple months ago now, and during the interview, I had just gotten back from Hawaii with my girlfriend who I live with, and we talked about it on stage, and like I somehow just was like, yeah, I'm gonna marry her, and like it was funny in the way I told the story, but now it's like I feel like unnecessary pressure. Like Tony's gonna know I didn't marry her.
Well, no,
He's not gonna know.
Emma
No,
didn't watch the episode, did she?
She did. No, she
Yeah,
did.
of course she did.
did. And she's like,
And
how
now
did
she's
you get
looking
on
at
there
you.
and I got fucking roasted? But no, it was a fun experience. And
So now she's looking at you like,
yeah, you said
hopefully.
that.
Like,
Well, I said it was going to happen sometime soon.
was she extra nice to you after that?
Yeah. I mean, we just got back from Hawaii too. So
Yeah.
it was fun. It was exciting. I kind of used that to help propel my new interest in like getting back out there and
Be productive.
Fuck
yeah, being productive. That's right.
How long you been with her?
Over 2 years. So
Okay.
yeah, we moved in together. She bought a house last year, and we moved in June or July. So it's been a year in the new house. Things are good.
How do you feel about her? Do you think she's like?
Damn.
Melissa wants to go in on women so bad right now.
No, I don't. Do you think?
I can feel it coming.
No, it's relationships. Do you think that there's this like special person in the world for you, or do you think it's more of like a temperament thing, or like do you know what I mean? Like, do you think like you
No, I
could
get the
just make
question,
it
I
work
think.
as long as she's willing to make it work? It kind of doesn't matter who it is.
Yeah, I mean that's a great question, and I don't know if I have the answer to that, but I think that a mix of both is really good. Like at least having some hope that there is, the right person out there for you, and then you just find the attributes and qualities that you like, and if you can make it work.
Yeah.
But Emma, my girlfriend, she like just came into my life at the perfect time, and she had all those qualities, and it was just something like a connection that. I'm 32 now. I've been in a lot of like serious relationships in the past, not a lot, but enough to know that like this was different. And she's just on the same page with me on a lot of stuff, and she's a huge supporter. And
Yeah,
so-
ever since you started being with her, everybody was just like, oh, they're kind of perfect together. Like,
yeah,
it-
I mean,
Yeah.
we balance each other really well.
Yeah.
Where'd you meet her?
Here at the comedy club. She's a big comedy fan. One of her best friends was doing a weekend or something like that. So all her friends
she
are
got on
comics,
stage
too.
a couple times too.
Yeah, she does comedy as well.
Yeah,
She's been kicking herself recently because she just hasn't been out there. She's working like crazy, and I have the same
Yep.
problem. But so she gets jealous if I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go do a mic or something. She just, it's hard to kind of force yourself to get out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's funnier?
She's hilarious. I mean, we have great times together.
He didn't even make eye contact with me. Anyway, let's move on.
Yeah, I would say her.
He's like, I don't want to answer this.
That's good. So Gucci Mane is a role model for you?
You know,
He's an entrepreneur, clearly.
He is.
Yeah.
And honestly, his life story, this is up until 2017, I think. It just always fascinated me because he kind of like epitomizes that scene, that culture, and he's like really been the takeoff point for a lot of good artists. Not to say like my favorite artist, but he's like trap music and that like ATL rap scene like has been so interesting to me ever since high school when I started listening to like rap music intentionally. And so I think that I look up to like the rags to riches story that he has is pretty dope. Like it's like you can make a really good movie out of it.
Yeah.
And so I mean I just think that's always just been really interesting to me. I wouldn't even say he's like top 10 favorite rapper, but as a personality, he's pretty cool.
I would have, like, we read the ICP biography. This one felt very like not watered down, but I would have liked to hear it from his voice. Like
That's exactly what I thought.
Writing it out in his voice instead of like a actual writer's.
Because it's written colloquially, but like not in his voice.
At times it's weird. Like you can hear the ghostwriter,
right?
And that's not good.
Absolutely.
So it's like sometimes his voice doesn't really come through. You can tell when the writer's trying to make it come through.
Right.
I mean, the book reads like a fucking like 500-page Facebook post. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's like he comes through that way through this kind of like media format. You know?
Yeah. It makes it an easy read.
Yeah.
Like you can really breeze through
very
it.
but there's some sentences.
Very professional.
Right. There's just a couple sentences where I was just like, he didn't say that.
Yeah.
You know, where it's just like, for as long as I could remember.
Right.
Like, it's like, he didn't say that.
Perchance.
Yeah. Perchance to dream.
No, I
to
did
own
notice that.
ice. You know, it's like, all right.
Yeah. He I did like whenever he was describing though, like the colloquialisms his dad would use. They learned from his dad and shit.
Yeah.
The original Gucci Mane. He just talk about like
How Maine comes from man.
No.
Mane. Mane.
Oh, fuck, I forget some of them, but yeah, just like talking about hustling and shit and teaching them. I'm a big con artist. Like I like to read about con artists and shit. So hearing about his dad doing the hustles and shit like that, was pretty dope. And it definitely fit into his production or music producer. Like I feel like a lot of them are hustling the rappers and shit. And he probably they didn't really talk about him fucking over any rappers, but I feel like he probably did. Coming from that background,
What do you mean fuck over rappers?
Some shady deals and shit with rappers.
Okay.
Kind of
like
touched
what? Why are you
on
being
it a
all
little bit.
esoteric about it?
Because it's super common in rap, especially
I
back
don't know.
then.
Ain't that a fucking hit?
Well, just like any group in the music industry, that if the record label can pull something over and make a couple fucking $1,000s off of a rapper with the Atlantic Records thing, where they fucking asked them to change the name or some shit, and then they fucking got the money from him. Like,
Oh, you're saying record companies taking advantage of hip hop artists?
And
Oh, okay.
Gucci
And
Mane.
artists within too.
Yeah, and artists within too, and with Gucci Mane like producing a few rappers, he probably a few times kind of screwed over a couple rappers and didn't mention it in the autobiography.
Oh, obviously.
You know?
Well,
Yeah.
this book, I'm going to call it what it is. And this is an example of celebrity propaganda.
yeah, it's definitely
It
a puff
is.
piece.
And
100%.
it definitely, it has his
He's just getting out of
life.
jail. He needed it.
Yeah. So he's just
Yeah.
this is celebrity propaganda. So it's kind of like you can't and it's like a vanity memoir. So some guy named what was the writer's name? The ghostwriter Nick Gonzalez or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Neil
Some
Martinez
fucking
Belkin.
Puerto Rican,
Is he not black?
Huh?
Is he not a black dude?
Who?
Well,
The guy
The writer?
Yeah.
He
No.
could
I
be
was
black,
hoping
but he could
so.
also be Puerto Rican.
He just
I don't
wrote the
know.
N-word so many times. I figured he should be.
Yeah.
At least whoever's doing the audiobook needs to
Yeah.
be.
his name's Neil Martinez Belkin.
Did you look him up?
It's right here.
Oh, okay.
He's a
Did we look him up? What
music
does he look like?
journalist. I didn't look him up.
Wait, Belkin?
Yeah,
But I
Belkin.
read it like,
Martinez
most of
Belkin.
it before knowing that someone else wrote it. Like I got I think a quarter of the way through, and I was like, "There's no way he's writing all this."
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Yeah.
seeing
No,
him
yeah.
sit down at a computer.
And fucking typing like
And
very,
then
very.
I was accused of murder. And then
I got out of jail, and
But there was one point in where he fucked over somebody. I think it was is when he signed Young Thug on the spot. I believe he mentioned it in the book, but he had like $25,000 he was going to split like amongst this like 3-person crew. And Pee Wee Longway is a rapper at the time that he was planning on getting a deal with Gucci, and he took all $25,000 that he was going to give to him and gave it to Young Thug 30 minutes after meeting him, signed him on the spot, and just fucked over the guy named Pee Wee Longway. So,
hey, he does look Puerto Rican.
poor Pee Wee.
They all look Puerto Rican.
Okay, there he is.
But look, New York Times bestselling co-author of the Gucci Mane autobiography and former music editor of XXL magazine. So
nice.
he basically writes for
Yeah,
he writes about
Rick
hip hop for
Ross's too.
Vice, Apple Music, Mass Appeal, etc. He's from Boston. So yeah, this guy is the guy who wrote that book. I guess they probably sat together, right?
Yeah.
And just kind of went like, "Hey, what do you want me to? What's the arc here?" And it's really weird because it was kind of a formulaic kind of celebrity memoir, right? Where he even tries to contrive this like cliffhanger part where he gets accused of murder.
Oh, right.
Did you see that part?
Yeah.
Because he does. He's like, and then everything was working out, and then my heart dropped down to my stomach when I realized I was accused of murder. Right?
like-
and they stopped
Yeah.
it there, and
Yeah.
then there's a whole page of just like newspaper clippings.
Oh,
to
yeah.
be like extra dramatic,
Right,
you
right.
know, and it's like because he doesn't even actually say it at first. He just shows the newspaper clippings,
Yeah.
and it's like you're supposed to have in your head, you know, like a movie basically, right?
Right. That did
Fucking
feel
police
yeah,
sirens,
it's
right?
a weird juxtaposition because there's like random photos in that book too.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like I know what happened, you know. Like
Right.
this guy's trying to do his job, right? Write massage, like a good memoir, something coherent, right?
Yeah.
Good looking, good puff piece, right? And then this guy, Gucci Mane's probably like, I want people to know that I'm a hero, you know, that I'm an entrepreneur, that I'm a founder, that
Yeah.
I'm a whatever the fuck, and I'm an enforcer, or whatever verb, you know, is like what he wants his.
And I
sort
think
of
that's
arc
what
to
he
be.
is kind of like. That's what he represents. Like you can go to jail 10 times for selling drugs and carrying guns as a felon and then come out and still have, you know, enough mainstream success to
Yeah, I actually
be with Mariah Carey.
took a quote of that because what's funny to me was the judge supposedly when he gets arrested is like, you're such a talented young man,
Yeah.
and we would hate to see you go to jail and waste your talent because you're a bright light in the dark tunnel and blah 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 blah, blah, right?
Yeah.
And it's like that's one guy, right? Imagine all the losers, you know,
Yeah.
who face the same
yeah.
judge, and like the judge has nothing to say to them. They're just
Just some
he's
street
like,
dealer.
this
who's
guy's
just like,
clearly an idiot, right?
Right.
So
Yeah.
the judge kind of goes, all right, well, have a good day. You know,
you
like he
rap
never
for
says
me?
that
9
part.
years.
Yeah, 9 years for you, and a
Right.
good day to you.
Yeah.
And it's like those guys have nothing to hold on to. They
No,
have
yeah.
no light in themselves
That
that
would-
people see, right?
Yeah.
they're just going to jail.
That would be hilarious, though, if
1000%.
like the judge is like, all right, think about giving you 9 years, but let's see how good you can sing.
Yeah,
Here's a Gucci Man beat.
yeah.
Let's see what your perspectives are
Entertain us.
later in life.
It's like, you got anything going for you? Like drawing, you play tic tac toe real good. Like, what do you do? You know?
It's just like a Kill Tony interview.
Yeah, exactly. Anything incredible. You know?
Anything we should know about your life
Yeah.
before I lock you up.
Well, they should do something though, because I bet that really
That
helped
is really
him.
funny, yeah.
That helped him get through jail, right?
Oh,
Because
yeah. Mm-hmm.
if you know you got something special in you, but most of those guys, let me tell you something. Because my brother was in jail. He got out like last week or some shit, right? And it's like most of them, nobody thinks that about them. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
No, and so they got to go, and it's like it just kind of confirms their own opinion about themselves, right?
Yeah.
And people just looking at them like this fucking waste of
Yeah.
air, you know? And they have no talents, they have no nothing, right? It's like how do you show them that they have a value as a human being when they don't?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's tough.
You don't.
I wonder if that.
But that's actually more interesting, right? Because imagine you got to go through life and like you have no talents. You have nothing to offer people, and yet you still have to find a way to value yourself. That's way more interesting, I think, because now you gotta do much more simple things,
yeah.
right? And that just accrues over time, right? You got to be of service. You have to not be a piece of shit, right?
Right. I guess you can just be nice.
And then that can develop. Fuck being nice. I'm just saying. I'm saying being good. You know.
Yeah.
And that just accrues over time, and then that's your little ball of light, and that's something nobody ever sees. That's just
Yeah.
for you.
That's
and
like
you
the
die
depressing
with that
way.
shit. Huh?
It's depressing. You think about.
I think it's beautiful.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the most beautiful things is
talentless
to-
people.
to build your own light, even if nobody can see it. It's there.
Yeah, I think everyone is talented at something. They just
No, they aren't.
Haven't
they're
figured
not.
out what it is yet.
No, that's capitalism. That's bullshit. Some of us will not have anything that we can offer in the way of talents. And I think that's important that doesn't happen. That has to happen. You know why? Because your talent should not be the measure of your value as a human being. You know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
think in this culture, especially because we're so fucking insane, right? We're so hyper focused on success. Talent kind of edges you out over everybody else. So you start to forget that just because somebody isn't talented, it doesn't mean that they're not valuable. You know?
Right.
And it's like we don't even understand that. That's not even something that we can intuitively comprehend. But it's just a fact.
So are you
Yeah.
saying that you should be nice then?
No, I say fuck being nice. What are you talking about being nice?
Well, what's your value?
Don't be
then?
nice, don't be productive.
What are you basing value on? If it
value?
is, yeah,
Life itself,
Yeah.
right? Value of life, right? That's that has to be the baseline,
sure,
right? And it doesn't mean like fuck contributing to society, fuck productivity, fuck talent, fuck it, right? We got this baseline, like at the very least, and that's the whole concept of living in this republic, right? Is like baseline. We each deserve this baseline level of respect for our autonomy, for our rights, for blah 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 blah, right? But it's there.
Go Bernie all of a sudden.
Huh?
You went
Blah,
Bernie.
blah, 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 blah.
Life and socialism, bro.
Yeah, because there's so many words, but it all kind of just sounds like a bunch of turkeys. But you know,
yeah,
I'm just saying, right? That's what I mean. That's what I mean. And it just sucks that it's always like that. It's always like a Gucci Mane. It's always somebody with a talent that other people see. You know,
right.
And for that person to be worth saving from jail. There's
Yeah.
a lot of people in jail.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
and let me tell you something. On
Way too
average,
many.
they're dumb as fuck. They're dumb. They're losers. They suck. You know, like this is the reality.
Yeah.
Okay, but they still have value. That's what I'm trying to
100%.
say.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know, and that's not to say we shouldn't kill them, right? I'm not saying, you know.
Man.
That's not to say they shouldn't. They deserve to be alive, right? I'm just saying, like, they're not. You're not. You know, there's a certain kernel of where, like, it doesn't. You know, we have the same value, the same
Yeah.
value.
We're all human.
Yeah,
So there's the baseline of being human.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Everyone deserves
a chance.
a chance to be saved.
Yeah.
You know.
Was that judge a Gucci Man fan, or did someone tell him
I
like,
think
"Hey,
he
he's
was. Oh, no,
talented"?
No, his nieces and nephews.
Ah.
Yeah, he's like, my nieces and nephews say you're really talented.
But he said he liked somebody else.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, he's like old school R&B or some shit. And that was pretty funny. I'm like, dude, he basically just sat in front of Gucci Man and was like, hey, I'm not a fan of your work, but
I actually like this guy, but you know, I guess you're cool. I can see it. Anyway, you're really talented. Try to survive jail. Bye. You know?
Yeah. He hasn't
Yeah.
gone back though.
no, yeah.
He said that was gonna be the last time.
He's at this point, he's been in the rap game so much, like he could probably get on like a feature for a song and just be in the chorus and make
Yeah,
$1 million.
Yeah, he's a
Like,
feature-
It's stupid.
king.
Yeah.
I looked up his net worth. I thought it would be a lot higher than it is now. It's like only 14 million. Still doing great for himself.
Only
but-
14 million? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Damn. I wish I had 14
I mean,
million.
Yeah. I was thinking like maybe close to 100 though, but I think it's probably all that jail stuff.
Yeah.
Doesn't really help.
Lots of lawyer
Well, you know,
fees.
yeah, that impedes your productivity.
Yeah. One of my favorite
Can't
rap
do
lyrics of
anything.
all time, I think it was on Lemonade, which I don't like the song, but he says, gave my lawyer $500,000 and told him come and get me. He says it, the N word in there too. But I remember like hearing that like live and like getting chills because he had like just gotten out at that point. But that to me like is, I mean, a lot of the book touches on it too. Like that was the original rap beef. I think what I grew up on, like now everyone's talking about Drake and Kendrick, but him and Jeezy, like there was a huge rap beef, how that all escalated.
Can you please summarize it for me?
Yeah.
I know nothing. I'm an ignoramus.
Yeah.
I'm a complete hip hop
You're
dunce.
good.
Please help me.
Young Jeezy and Gucci Mane are both out of Atlanta. They're coming up around 2005-ish, and they did a record together, but they didn't really fuck with each other. And allegedly, Young Jeezy didn't get paid for a song that he did with Gucci Mane. I think it was Icy or one of those at the time. And he set him up with inviting Gucci over to like the stripper's house, and like 4 dudes like came in and tried to rob him. He, in self-defense, shot and killed one of them. So he had a murder charge that he notoriously beat in self-defense, where he was acquitted. And so that kind of fueled the beef a little bit more. But Jeezy said he had nothing to do with it. Everyone thinks he did. But that was like when rap beef was like
What do you think?
I think Jeezy was behind it. I think that they're kind of over it now, but it was for a white suburban dude, it was cool to be like pick a side at that time.
Yeah.
When I was in high school. So
yeah,
Was that the first culture war?
Well, that was like one of the earliest rap beef, of course, Tupac and Biggie.
right.
But that was
Of like my generation.
yeah, that was
thinking,
like our generation's
Yeah.
like first rap beef. Real like, oh, somebody shot a motherfucker, like that type of rap beef.
Well, I remember that one. That's
Every-
that's around when I stopped listening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ever since then, it like until now with Drake and Kendrick. Drake's house got shot up, so that's actually pretty fucking
Yeah.
intense. Although
Low bodies.
I think Drake paid a dude to shoot up his own
Yeah, he
house.
probably shot up his own house.
Yeah.
Because dudes from Compton aren't going all the way to Canada to shoot up some motherfucker's house.
It's too
Right.
cold.
Yeah.
I would.
I mean, you're
It's also
having
tough to get in.
cross
yeah.
a border
You got phones.
with weapons.
There's documentation.
Yeah. So it's like
Unless you're going through the woods with the migrants, right?
Yeah.
You're just like freezing
Dude,
your
Canada
ass off in
doesn't
the
play.
woods.
Their borders are pretty tough. My sister had their wedding there, and my sister had to like do a bunch of extra work because me, my dad, and the groom all had DWIs, and they like wouldn't let us into Canada. I was like, well, this is like kind of hold a wedding. We're all gonna need to be there.
I went into Canada without a passport or anything. Like whenever I lived in Seattle, I had a Canadian friend that I talked to since like AOL Messenger, and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna go see her. She's a 2-hour drive away. This is dope.
Had you ever met her before?
No. Yeah, it was super cool. And then I like got to the border, and I realized like I was bringing a present for her. It was a replica Master Sword from Zelda.
I had a feeling.
In
I had
my
a feeling it was
trunk.
going in this direction.
I had it in my trunk, and I'm
She
like,
sounds hot.
oh wait, fuck! I'm bringing a weapon over the border, and so I just like fucking like was
What'd you do?
super cool. The border lady was cool as fuck. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to see a friend and stuff, and she didn't check my trunk. And then I asked some Canadian friends later. They're like, yeah, you probably broke like 3 felonies,
Yeah.
like
Bringing a fucking sword. in the
sneaking a
country.
weapon across the border and shit.
Yeah.
Because the fucking technically any blade is a weapon in Canada. But then the weird thing about going into Canada, like Google Maps doesn't work in Canada the same. Like I had no idea where I was going once I
Oh, yeah,
got
that's
into
right. I've been
Canada.
there.
My internet switched.
true.
Yeah.
I couldn't use Google Maps. Everything's in French.
You're like at Tim Hortons, like,
Yeah.
how do I get that?
Dude, yeah, I had it saved to the cafe where she worked. We went there, and then I drove her to like a beach. We just hung out at the beach for a while, and then as soon as I go home, I realized Google Maps cannot locate. I'm like, great, I got to figure out where south is and just drive south, hoping I hit the
Yeah.
border.
Well, that's how people used to do it. You can do it that way. That's how the highways were literally built for that.
Yeah.
It's just that we forgot because
Yeah.
everybody uses Google Maps. But yeah, it is. If you go south, you'll probably get there. You'll get there. What would you have done if she had pulled that sword out? Would you have showed her like the anime that it came? Like, no. Look,
Well, it's from Zelda. She knows Zelda.
no, but the lady at the border.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ooh.
you should show her Zelda. You should just start showing her. Look, it's the same.
It's life
It's
size.
a toy. Yeah. It's like, and then you start like, look at this. Isn't that cool?
You really didn't think about it, did you?
Oh no. I was just like, I'm gonna go see a friend and bring a present, and then then I'm like, oh yeah, there's a whole other country, and they're probably gonna check my shit.
Did
Hopefully
you wrap
they
it?
don't. No, I just had it
You
in
just
my trunk.
dump that shit in your trunk?
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
That's what I got you, babe.
Yeah. You know what you could do probably next time is maybe get like golf clubs, like a bag of golf clubs,
Yeah.
and then wrap it and then just kind of shove it in there.
Yeah.
I bet that's how you get swords
Go
across.
and play golf in Canada.
Oh yeah, I guess that'd be kind of suspicious.
No, there's great golf in Canada.
Is there?
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, golf. Yeah. Oh, that's great because if there's great golf in Canada, then it makes sense that you're even doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think I just anybody
Start
hearing this
sword
out
smuggling.
there? Yeah.
Sword smuggling to Canada.
Yeah. If anybody listening to this is interested in smuggling swords into Canada, let me know.
The demand up there is just not that high.
Oh.
I bet you it is. It's hard to
Canada?
get
No,
weapons. in
there's
Canada.
so
Hard to
many
get
nerds in
guns.
Canada.
Yeah, that's true.
And
Dude.
it's hard to get weapons and shit. Weapons.
Yeah.
Even like replica swords or weapons.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, that there's a market for it for sure. That would be interesting. Just fucking running up on Comic Cons, buying replica swords and smuggle them into Canada to sell. Like they're fucking cigarettes from state to
Yeah.
state.
Let's do it.
No, officer, these are replicas.
This is our Gucci Man hustle right here. Selling swords to Canada.
Yeah. Well, so you don't like the sound of its voice.
No, not rapping voice. It's very mumbly, very hard. I'm a lyrics guy whenever it comes to rap, and it's hard to fucking understand his lyrics, honestly.
You agree with
Sometimes.
this?
I actually kind of like his southern draw, but he does seem to use like some vocabulary where it's like it doesn't sound like you should be saying like a big word like that.
Yeah.
And so like kind of mumbles through it. And so I can see how that can be off-putting, but he's actually started to enunciate more, I feel like, in the past, like,
Yeah, that's
five.
what with that new
Who's on
song,
Lean and
that
shit
newer
early
song with T.I. and Ludacris and Tech
Yeah.
Nine. Like you could kind of understand him better.
Yeah.
We got some of these songs up
Yeah.
here. Is there anyone we should listen to?
See, Lemonade's bad.
Is there any old?
Get the Bag. That's like one of probably the last Gucci Mane song that I really liked. I forgot about that one.
But Lemonade was pretty big, or was it just that it flopped? So
It
then
was-
people
it
talked
was-
about it.
No, it was really big.
It was
a
really
huge
big.
commercial success.
And one thing, it has its beat. It was sampled for another song that's huge. It has a dope beat.
See, that's the thing, I didn't like the beat.
They
I like
sampled.
the
They
song,
sampled
but I
it for
liked the
another song that was really popular. Yeah, his
Oh yeah, he has that No Diddy song.
a No Diddy.
The whole hook is just like he says stuff, and he's like No Diddy.
Yeah, he's basically
about
not being Diddy. I'm
Yeah.
not a pedophile. I'm not fucking dudes. I'm not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but hey, he's still putting him out. It was just
Yeah.
a month ago.
And when did he get out of jail?
Last time it was 2016.
Oh,
And
okay,
he
it's been a
released his
while.
book
It's been a while.
2017. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's
So I'm proud of him, is what I'm saying.
basically just
Proud of
been.
him?
Yeah.
Do you did you basically grow up with him, sort of?
I did. Like Lil Wayne was my guy for sure. From like I
Lil
think-
Wayne seems like a love, like he almost seems like a Jim Henson Muppet rapper, you know, like a Muppet. He's
Yeah.
kind of like he has kind of like a Muppet vibe.
Yeah.
No, yeah, they.
And everyone likes the Muppets.
Somebody said
Yeah.
a roast about Lil Wayne once. It's like Lil Wayne is if you poured water on a mogwai and he turned into a rapper.
Yeah, I can totally see that. That's
Turn
actually perfect.
Pour lean onto a mogwai.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Oh my god, that's hilarious. That's really good.
But he was coming up a little bit like after that, and so like I was starting to get into like I was finding different types of rap music at that time, like in high school. And this trap rap that him, T.I. and Jeezy all started, like that just really appealed to me.
Yeah. I was always a fan of like UGK and Killer Mike, the whole Dungeon Family gang and shit.
Right.
All the Atlanta rappers. So
Yeah.
I wasn't really that big into Gucci Mane early on, but then I started listening to like the other ones that he was affiliated with.
Yeah.
And he did shit with Killer Mike and shit. And I was like, okay. That's
Yeah, he's done
pretty-
stuff with like every
Everybody.
artist now.
Yeah.
But like he has so much like underground trap stuff, like his old production, like music videos. It was so funny, just like guns in the trap, like smoking blunts. He's enormously overweight at that time. It was just
Yeah.
a
Whenever
totally different Gucci for
he
sure.
talked about it in the autobiography. Whenever he was like deep on lean, it was like he had like
pregnant,
the extended
yeah.
belly, pregnant belly and shit, dude. Yeah.
He said when he got arrested that last time, he was like 275 or something, and 2 weeks later or 3 weeks later, he was down to like 240 just from withdrawals and being off lean,
Yeah.
not being constipated.
What's lean again? It's
like cough syrup.
cough syrup, and what else?
Yeah,
Is that
it's
it? Like they
Promethazine.
smoke it or just
no. Well,
they were
you
drinking it at
can
that
drink
point?
it. Yeah,
You mostly drink it like you take Sprite and you mix the
dirty Sprite.
two chemicals.
Yeah.
We're not gonna give the
It sounds like it's like reverse Ozempic.
recipe.
Yeah, in
Yeah.
a sense, it makes you.
Reverse Ozempic that
fat
gets
and
you
slow.
really high.
Yeah,
Yeah, like Ozempic doesn't get you high.
Yeah.
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 Does it sound appealing to you? No.
I've never tried it. Has anybody? No,
I've drank a shit ton of Robitussin.
me too.
I did the robot.
Yeah.
That's robo tripping.
Robo tripping.
Yeah.
But
I've done that before.
it was good. I would say overrated, but
Yeah.
I'm glad I did it. You know, glad
Yeah.
for the experience.
I did that in like high school when we first learned about robo tripping, and it was a kid in our class who like literally had a bottle of Robitussin in his backpack and like passed out during class.
Yeah.
And teachers were like suspicious, so they checked his bag,
Suspicious.
and so they fucking
This
like.
kid's foaming at the mouth. I'm suspicious.
Well, he was just like like dazing off in class like this, and then just fell asleep. And they're like, "There's something up," and so they checked his bag, and then they sent out like, a warning about robo tripping,
Oh, yeah.
trying to warn the students.
Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And that just fueled like I was like,
They're
okay,
like, oh, what's that?
I'm gonna go. Yeah,
Yeah.
I went home that night and I was like,
Yeah.
so let's see how much Robitussin it takes to do this.
Yeah.
No such thing as bad press.
And I'm sure I'm like one of like 15 of the students who did
Oh
that.
yeah,
you
you
know,
and
that
all the
night.
kids that are just shoving their papers in their backpack with
Yeah.
their folders.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What did you huff anything? Or what'd you do?
No,
what's
I-
the gamut of your
I
Drug
really haven't done a
journey.
ton of crazy stuff. I started smoking weed when I was like 15, and I still do that just about every day. But other than that, I really did acid once, mushrooms probably 10, 15 times. I like mushrooms, but I haven't done them in a long
Mushrooms are
time. And yeah, I maybe some painkillers here and there, but I didn't ever like them. I didn't like Xanax when I tried it. Don't
Yeah.
like Molly or anything
I
like
don't like
that.
Oxy. I never liked any of them.
Yeah,
It's too like
Coke's fine, but
what
I
do I
take
want to be
Adderall. I
stuck
don't
in this
really
fucking cloud for? I hate that
Yeah.
shit. I
Yeah.
don't like it. I don't like opiates.
Yeah, it's like being fuzzy and like not about your wits. I don't like
I
that.
hate that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm already like witless. I need like less wit. You know, like what the fuck?
I beg to differ there.
No, no way. Wait, when did you start taking Adderall?
My junior year of high school.
How old were you then?
It's a good question. I guess if you start driving then, so like 16, 15, 16.
So you started smoking weed and doing Adderall at the same time, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember that because it was,
So then why are you wondering why
What's
you
wrong?
can't function when you're not on Adderall when clearly it's
Or
because you
smoking
were
weed,
fucking
yeah.
high
Yeah.
and you're weed.
I still use that same concoction. I don't know. I think that the weed helps me kind of level off the edge that Adderall gives you, I guess. But it also does make me like start a bunch of different projects because I'm high and I forget what I'm doing. And then like I get super focused on it for like 10 minutes. So like I'll start cleaning over here and then I'll realize like, oh shit, the water's running.
You basically just gave yourself ADD,
Yeah, I think so.
like artificial ADD. You know that's
10
what
years.
that is, right?
Right now, I mean,
That's like
Adderall for me is
executive
like
function.
it's a mood stabilizer. I
Dysfunction.
don't even think it's like ADHD medication anymore.
A mood stabilizer,
Yeah.
and so it keeps you
My
in
mood
what kind of
sucks
a
without
mood?
it. Good, chipper, like this, like normal. I feel like baseline, which sucks. Like, yeah, there's chemical imbalance now, but eventually I will try and wean off of it. But I actually had like a health scare not that long ago and went to the cardiologist to get like a bunch of checks and stuff. And he, after all of it, he basically told me I was just being a huge pussy and that I need to, and
Yeah,
I have
thanks,
high
doc.
cholesterol.
He's
and I
like,
need-
you're a pussy and you're gay. Why don't you go put a dick in your mouth and stop bothering me? I'll see you next month.
basically what he said.
Yeah.
And he said, stop taking Adderall, stop vaping, grow up. But when he said
That's
stop taking
hilarious.
Adderall, I was like, what's a good alternative? Like, he told me to
Meth.
meditate. And I was like, go fuck yourself,
Methitate.
dude. Yeah.
How about you methitate?
I was like, that's not a real answer.
It is a real answer. Meditation is a good substitute, and it's
For
a good way to.
Adderall?
Well, it's a good way to develop
Focus.
executive function. That's like the main issue of people with ADD. It's like you don't have a problem focusing. It's that you don't have it's that you have a problem like sticking with what you're focused on, or sometimes you'll just hyper focus on it, right? Because you're the part of your brain that tells you, okay, put this down for now. We're gonna go do this now. Is not working correctly.
Yeah.
That's the problem. People with ADHD have no problem with focus. It's
Yeah.
that what they'll focus on is insane.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
But you know, sometimes. Well, okay, I have my own opinions about that. But anyway, look, meditation helps, and And from what I understand, you really got to be careful with Adderall though, because it's all cool and fun to take and focus on shit. But if you take it for a really long time,
Yeah.
you're gonna fucking burn out your frontal lobe or whatever, like your serotonin.
Yeah.
And just all of that shit's gonna get fried.
Yeah,
and
that's
then,
what
and
I'm
then you're
worried
gonna be in
about.
a mood that you can't come out of.
Is weaning off it, like, because there's been shortages where I've had to go a couple weeks and I'm like, dude, I can't be like this. Like, if I ever stop it, like, I need to be a normal person again. So I know that's like definitely looming, and I think about it a lot. So
Are you fighting like a depression or something? Like what's up with you?
I mean,
what's hiding under all that fucking
not that
Adderall?
I know of, but once I stop taking it, I guess we'll see. No, I'm good. I actually I feel better than I have in a long time in terms of like overall health and like like work-life balance.
Yeah. You should go somewhere for like a week and like not take any Adderall. Like go to some fucking sweat lodge or some shit
Yeah,
just to see if you can do it.
yeah.
Because
Hey,
like
I'm
you
just
said,
curious.
if there's like what if there's a shortage for like a month? What are you
Right.
gonna do? You're fucked.
I definitely need to be ready for that. But
Yeah.
when I try it, it takes a few days. But then I start coming back normal. Then I start like forming sentences again.
After
After a few days of not taking it. Because like if I'll take it through the week and then not take it Sunday if I'm not doing anything Sunday, and then Monday it's like more effective. So I know that it's like one way or the other. My brain's like just balancing itself out.
So if you get back to normal after whatever, like a week of not taking Adderall,
It'll be longer than that.
why do you want to take Adderall?
Well, no, I mean, I don't think that it would take just a week. I think at this point it would probably take a month or more for me to get back on track. But I also don't know, like, I don't know if I trust myself to be at the level of, I guess, or just productive enough doing the things that I want to do. Because even when I say I'm back to normal, it's not like, oh, I have this urge to go, bust out some logo work or do something creative. Like, I don't get that spark, I feel like, without it sometimes. And then the weed helps too with that.
You ever try Ritalin?
No, actually, I've never diverted from the Adderall itself, actually. It's worked for me.
Okay.
So stop taking it.
I'm not trying to make you do anything.
No.
I think you also are worried about it. I think you want to stop
100%.
taking it.
I think the first joke that I did on stage that works is it's a true story. And I just saw my mom it's about my mom still taking Adderall, and she's going to be 70 soon, this year. And it's like, Mom, you have no reason to be taking this. Like, I think she more or less takes it because she did speed in the 70s, and it's like, it makes her productive. But like, I had a reason in school. It was like my sister took it and started doing well on it. So I was like, oh, let me try that. The first doctor actually said like, no, he's fine. And then my mom's like, oh, try this one. So
Your
I'm
mom
just kind of fucked.
went and got a second opinion
Yeah.
when another doctor said you were fine.
Yeah. You always got to have a second opinion.
Second opinion from a doctor who agrees with you.
You should just smoke crack with your mom.
Be some good bonding.
Maybe she just wants to bond with you with like a drug that you both can appreciate.
Honestly, we wouldn't even just need to smoke crack. My mom is like wired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's always been like that for as long as you can remember.
No, I mean, since she's been taking Adderall for sure.
But you said she was on speed before that.
Well, yeah, but like that was like during this, like she was like,
As a
hippie.
kid,
yeah,
herself.
like growing up, like partying and stuff like that. I remember my dad used to call them like white crosses. That was a thing in like the 70s, 80s.
White crosses?
Yeah, it's like just
It's fucking
basically,
intense.
meth pills.
Yeah.
What I'm taking
White
now.
crosses.
Yeah,
Ugh.
but
They tried to keep it religious. They tried to keep it drugs religious.
If you take a white cross and you ingest it with some Mexican food, then it's a burning cross.
Woo, go Melissa.
Thanks. Did you notice a change in your mom's personality when she started taking Adderall?
Yeah, for sure.
What happened?
A little bit more like sporadic, I would say, almost manic at times, but like she's just always wanted to talk, move around. She calls it like putzing, which is where she's just like organizing shit. It's like when I can tell she's like really geeked out.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's noticeable, and me and my siblings talk about it, but it was funny to joke about, but I think it comes from an underlying concern for her and myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy how women seem more organized as they get older, but they're actually more chaotic
Yeah.
because they're just the way they organize is chaotic.
Yeah.
Like my grandmother was constantly like the sound of my grandmother for me is just her like 2 a.m. I just hear her in her room with the papers sifting around and like opening plastic bags full of more papers.
Yeah.
And she's always looking for like a lottery ticket. So she would, because her room was just papered with lottery tickets. She was addicted to lottery tickets, you know, and she won like twice. But it just kind of kept her going. Yeah. And then she
Oh yeah.
have you seen that guy? It had your birthday on it. It was good luck. And it's like,
when I lived with my mom, when I first started bartending here, I moved out here, and she would be up at like 4 a.m. when I got home from bartending. I'm like, Mom, what are you doing up right now? She's like, oh, I'm just, organizing.
yeah, and it's like she's not.
Yeah.
Was she? No, like, would she ever really?
At one point, she was like sitting cross-legged, like on the living room floor, like matching socks. I was like, what are you doing, man?
Dude, women are insane. Yeah. And we just get crazier the older we get. Like, my mom's thing is like hoarding boxes of art supplies. That's her thing. And I don't know what the fuck is coming down the pipe for me, but you know, I mean, it's coming soon, probably.
Yeah, some arts and crafts.
Yeah, my mom is big into family. She does it. She's very organized with all of her stuff, but then like, if any family member is like, oh, I have some extra of this, she's like, you could store it at our house, and just like builds up a storage of all the family shit in our shop, in my stepdad's shop. Just like the loft is just everybody else's shit.
Right. And it's like, technically that's organized, but she's also insane. You know? It's this weird combo where you're just like, oh.
Yeah.
You just kind of back out of the room. Like,
right.
You go to, yes. You do, yes. And then men, it's the opposite. Men actually get more useful, but they hate it. You know, like they get really good at building shit, but they fucking hate it. They just want to drink beer. Like, leave me alone, you know? But everybody keeps coming to them because it's like, you're so useful, right? Yeah. It's like women when they're younger, they're like that. Everybody wants their pussies, right? But then they get old and crazy. And then men, like, their usefulness becomes the pussy, right? Yeah. So women are just constantly like, hey, I'll show you my tits and you build me a fucking spice rack. You know?
I guess I didn't think about it like that. That's what Emma's seeing in me. I've just recently started like woodworking.
Yeah, don't fight it.
Oh, yeah.
Don't fight it. It's you.
He made dog beds. I remember you made a dog bed for he built a wooden dog bed for his dog Rookie with Rookie's name engraved on the side.
Yeah, I got a cool laser engraver. I did some build-ins for our new house too, which looked really good in my girlfriend's office.
Did you build Ralph? His girlfriend has a dog too. Did you build Ralph one, or you just?
I just laser engraved the other side of that that dog bed so they could share it. I was like, I'm not making more of these.
Yeah, that's so practical.
You can share it. They do.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool. Did you got the laser from your job?
No, that's what inspired me to want one, because I was like, I feel like I should be able to toy around with this when I have time. But the ones that I sell are like $50,000 to $100,000.
Oh, they're like industrial fucking. Well, how much is a laser engraver for wood better than like a wood burning pen? Yeah,
well, the laser, like, you can take any image and then it'll do it. So with a pen, you'd have to do it by hand.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So I mean, it's the only laser cutting. I guess they have CNC machines too, which will do the same thing. It'll just like bevel out a piece of art. But cool. Lasers are pretty sweet because you can do it on just about any material other than
you ever try it on like your leg or some shit?
No, I haven't. I've been hit with one from work, but like, as long as you don't keep your hand there, you're fine.
Because I think people do that, like the people that get into like piercings and shit, they do like laser engrave. It looks terrible. It's fucking crazy. Like, I don't know why they're crazy.
I feel like it would probably look about the same as Gucci Mane's ice cream tattoo. Yeah. Have you seen the ice cream tattoo?
I guess I have, but I didn't know it was him.
His picture's on the back.
Was he like the one to do that?
He was the one, yeah. And he said it was because he was like,
on the back.
He was in a bad place in his life.
I see.
Written on it.
It's from his chain. He was the first one to have like the most ostentatious chains. They were the best. He had a So Icy Boys chain that was like the size of a tennis racket. And it was ridiculous.
He had a Bart Simpson chain.
Yeah, he was the first one like spending ridiculous money on jewelry. Cool. And so like, I really liked that too.
Yeah, do you have any? That Bart Simpson one is fucking fire.
Yeah, that's cool.
I don't have any bling myself, no. But every time I walk by those little kiosks in the middle of the mall, I like to think about what I would get.
So you're not ostentatious, but you covet it. Like, you're like, that's cool.
I do, yeah. I think that.
Do you ever like, like Home Alone? Like, you got a little part of your closet. You like put your pimp hat on. You're like, fuck, dude, I should fucking go out.
I see you having a fedora.
Get that too far. Yeah, I mean, I got a cowboy hat that I spent like stupid money on that I'll never wear out of the house because I'm like, that's not who I am.
But this is the place for that.
Yeah.
This is the place for that.
I know if I wore it here, I'd get fucking roasted.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
This one's like between a
Justin's
cowboy
like,
hat.
yeah, I would do
and,
it.
like,
Yeah, me, Zach, and Brandon for
short
sure would be
bro.
like, yeehaw.
But that's just the gauntlet you got to get through to be
No,
yourself.
I know, but that's not me. I
Look,
like the hat.
I got a
but
Stetson hat. I'll wear mine.
yeah.
And I don't wear it. I don't really wear it either because I don't want to get called
we
gay.
could do, yeah. we could
And
do a hat thing.
If I wear it and you wear it,
All right. Yeah.
then people will be so weirded
They'll go,
out. They
"Damn,
won't know
are all
what to
these
say
hats
yet.
going-" Yeah, and they're like, this is kind of the new thing.
Like, is this a club?
yeah.
Well,
And then
all
you
right.
got to also wear a crazy hat.
Okay. All right.
And then Justin has to also wear a crazy hat. A
Man,
yarmulke.
plenty hats.
Good choice.
All right.
That's dope.
All right. Well, I think we got to get out of here.
Oh, shit, yeah.
You do Mike, the Bare Arms Mike, on Wednesdays at
Yep.
the Creek.
Every
and
Wednesday.
then what's your Instagram? Plug your Instagram.
My Instagram is robert.h.may. And it's also Rough Draft Design. That one's the more important one.
Yes.
Rough Draft, and draft is spelled DRAUGHT, like draft.
Gotcha.
Draft beer, Rough Draft Design. Yeah, check out some of the stuff there. I like to do some work in the community for any graphic design needs. I'll actually be hosting the mic after this show today,
nice.
Tuesday. Yeah.
Sweet. Melissa?
Instagram, Melissa Diaz, #4, letter U. Just, that's it. There you go.
Cool. And my name is Mud9210. Check out all the podcasts on the YouTube Studio, Creek Cave Studio YouTube page. All pretty funny. And yeah, we'll talk to y'all next time. We're gonna have on Ariel Isaac Norman.
Hell yeah.
Later, everybody. Bye bye.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.